It's hard to believe that something so small and cute is so deadly.
I cannot believe that we just got a second Bushmaster.
Right, so we just came up on this coral snake in the trail. This looks like lemniscatus. It's kind of a smaller one. This one's actually been relatively calm. And the coral snakes have a very, very powerful neurotoxic venom. These guys are no joke, even though this one is pretty small. It's got a very small head on it. It's a very common myth that they have to chew to envenomate. They don't. They will, and it definitely helps them. Oh, I just went right through a hole in the leaf. But yeah, they don't have to chew in order to envenomate. So you always want to be very, very careful and give these guys the respect that they do definitely deserve. Super pretty though. Look at that guy, huh? Looks like he's got a meal in him too. I see a little bit right about there. Maybe he ate something. Now they don't strike like other snakes do. They're very whippy in their motions instead. So this one's not gonna like strike at me like say a viper will. But their movements are whippy and they do latch on. The coral snakes here in the Amazon are way more bitey than the coral snakes that we have in North America. So like our eastern corals that I catch in Florida are usually very mild-mannered. Amazonian coral snakes, man, I've had them bite anything and everything. And yeah, they're a little scary, honestly, to catch them. This one's being really nice and being really calm right now. But when I've caught them before, they are just whipping around all over the place and biting and latching on to anything that they can. There you go, buddy. That's so cool. I just saw that thing and immediately just clicked in my brain. I'm like, coral! Oh my god!
It's really cute.
Yeah, cute and deadly.
Exactly.
So the coral snakes calmed down a little bit now. They're just kind of moving around and exploring a little bit. I'm gonna try to maybe, never mind. It was in like a cool position. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, go back down there. It's hard to believe that something so small and cute is so deadly. That's what Sophia just said. It just looks like a cute little candy cane snake, and it's not threatening, and it's not hissing or striking in any way, and it just seems like no big deal, right? But that little tiny thing can kill you.
Now, if you're watching and thinking, yeah, but I thought the venomous coral snake had to have the red touching the yellow, right? That's the rhyme. Red touch yellow, kill a fellow, red touch black, friend of Jack, or some variation of it. And as you can see, that rhyme does not apply here. That rhyme only works in North America, and even there, it doesn't work all the time. And so in Central and South America, where there are many, many different species of coral snakes, they have a variety of different patterns and colorations, and so you cannot rely on that rhyme. We continued on with our hike that night and encountered some really cool insects like these little assassin bugs right here. We found several of these crested forest toads, and these guys are really, really cool amphibian that we'll find. And you see they have that crest over the eye right there. There's actually a lot of variability in this species, and so some of them have much higher crests than others.
Check out this giant land snail. The size of this thing. These guys are huge. Super cool. Look at that face.
The giant snail is really cool, and I was really excited to see it, but the night was definitely slowing down, and we hadn't seen very much, but we continued hiking for a few more hours, and then we were rewarded. George was on the back of the trail and just heard me yell, "Bushmaster!"
Holy moly. I don't know if it's the same one or not.
We're all really excited, but my excitement is a little bit subdued right now because I'm not sure if it's the same individual that we encountered the night before.
2 Bushmasters in a row.
Maybe this might be the same one we saw.
So big.
Let me get that hook in case it decides to go.
Oh my god, he's looking. Oh.
He's coming fast.
What?
That's alright. He's just ready up.
This snake is on the same trail and around the same size as one we found the previous night, but the behavior is very different. This snake was very quick to coil up and looks like it's ready to strike as well. The one from the previous night was much more calm.
It's not as calm as the other one.
So here I'm working on getting some shots of the Bushmaster where we found it, hopefully before it moves off.
You seriously got 2 Bushmasters on one trip?
In a row.
I think we did.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Because we're going to be like, you're lying.
We're going to have to do some like pattern recognition here. Figure it out, but I'm pretty sure we just got 2 Bushmasters in one trip.
This is just as big or a little bit smaller?
It's about the same size.
Like, yeah, literally like the same. That's why we're very confused. I'm trying to figure it out.
Sorry, George.
No, no worries. If anything, it looks cooler having everybody take photos of it.
Oh my god, guys, it looks like we just found a second Bushmaster. Last night we got a Bushmaster, and then this one right here, which is on the same trail. And at first I thought it was the same snake, but it's acting much more defensively and a lot more jumpy, and it looks to be a little bit smaller than the one that we got last night. So pretty sure this is a different individual, which means 2 Bushmasters in 2 days. Let's see if I can get another shot of it here. This is totally nuts. I cannot believe that we just got a second Bushmaster. It doesn't even make any sense.
It really doesn't.
Alright guys, we're doing a side-by-side right now. This is the one we're looking at right over there. So that's this one, and it has this little white, well, it has a little white speck. And this is the one from yesterday, and it does not have that little white speck, a little weird scale mark. So that means this is a different individual than the one that we found yesterday. So 2 Bushmasters on this trip with photo evidence. But yeah, so that is a different snake right there. It's definitely acting very different. But now we, compared the photos, and it has that characteristic white speck, and that means this is a different individual. 2 Bushmasters. It's really crazy. They're like the same size though. Like, that's really surprising. I mean, this one does look slightly smaller, but they're almost the same size. Man, how crazy is that?
The Bushmaster then started to slide off into the jungle, so I decided I was going to go ahead and grab a hold of it and bring it out so we can get a better look, and a better look at the overall body condition, and again, just verify that this is not the same one.
Back up. Yeah, back up, back up, back up.
Now I also want to remind everybody, this is a highly venomous snake. This is very dangerous. Never try this on your own, and understand that I've been handling venomous snakes for well over a decade, so please never ever try this on your own. And you can see everybody's quick to get out of the way. This is a very dangerous situation, and although the snake hasn't tried to strike yet, it is very jumpy, it's very active, and a snake of this size and this power is very difficult to handle. After a little bit of time spent and dancing around with the snake, it does finally start to calm down a little bit and relax and realize I'm not going to hurt him and start to trust me a little bit. Now, I don't trust it though, that's very important.
think, George?
Amazing.
Well, I'm pretty focused on what I'm doing, so normally I talk to the camera. I'm like, man, I just gotta watch out. There we go. That shows the size pretty good, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Sophia?
It looks longer than you are tall.
It is, indeed.
Very big danger noodle.
I then try to let Kristoff get some shots of the snake.
Looking at you.
Following me.
Oh, yeah, he is. Well, let me ask you guys, like, you know, so we have it on the video, like, what's everybody think? And, you know, like, it's your first Bushmaster, George and Sophia. Like, what do you guys think?
For me, by far, this is literally the coolest venomous snake I have ever seen. Possibly coolest snake ever.
What's your contender?
Contender?
As in your other snake you're considering?
I'm considering, at least amongst venomous, King Cobra.
Mm.
But color pattern wise, this thing stomps that in the ground.
What do you think, Sophia?
I think color and pattern wise, I preferred the coral snake we saw earlier.
Wow.
But size wise, like this guy is definitely much bigger.
That is very true. This is much bigger. Like maybe 10 times.
Yeah, he doesn't look as cute.
Definitely,
Very handsome though.
definitely the most impressive venomous snake I have seen ever.
What do you think of like the movement, you know, the snake, and like
Very inquisitive, I'd say.
you see how it's
Watching.
yeah, like it's pretty observant, you know, and it's not aggressive, it's not flailing or trying to really strike, but you can see it's watching. Let's see if I can pick him up again. Ooh. So Sophia just asked how the venom of this Bushmaster differs from the coral snake that we saw earlier. And the coral snake has a neurotoxin, while the Bushmaster, being a viper, vipers typically have a hemotoxic venom. There's definitely variability across elapids and vipers, but for these, they are known for having a hemotoxic venom, so it's gonna destroy your tissue. And like if it were to bite your leg, if you survived it, you could lose your leg. But thankfully, with modern medical care and anti-venom, if you do get bit and you get to the hospital, you have very good odds of survival if you can get anti-venom. But if a snake like this bit you out here and you didn't get to the hospital, not looking good for you, that's for sure. But as you can also see, these snakes are very, very calm. It does not want to bite. It's being very, very well tempered with us right now, and it's been a very, very patient snake and isn't trying to bite or not even trying to strike at all. So, a very calm snake. I mean, we walked right by and it didn't lash out or chase anybody or anything like that like people think they will. They just want to be left alone. You know, they're not aggressive. Here I am holding it, and you know, it's probably not very happy with me right now, but it's not being aggressive towards me in any way whatsoever. Such a cool snake, though. Look at that thing. I like, oh, gonna move. Easy, buddy. Alright, we'll switch you down.
And so why is this one so much more spiky as compared to the coral snake? It was rounder.
Yeah, so the coral snakes have extremely smooth scalation, and that way they don't have very much friction, and they're moving through the leaf litter and such. But the Bushmaster has highly pointed keeled scales, and it's very unusual. This scalation is unique to this species, or well, this genus really. And nobody's really sure exactly what that is, but I have read theories that it helps with moisture dripping down or movement through the jungle. I mean, there's a few different theories on why that might be, but it is unique to the Bushmasters in general. And what's really, really cool is the snake's not going to let me really do it, but at the tip of the tail, there's a little spike at the tip, which is also very unique. I can't think of any other snake that has like a literal spine at the end of the tail right there, and nobody knows what that's for either.
Bushmasters are easily one of my favorite snakes in the world. They are just so big, so impressive, and just a really beautiful animal too. I mean, look at the eye, look at those crazy scales, just the overall size. They're just such an incredible species to encounter, and especially to see out here in the jungle, in the Amazon, in the wild where they belong. I feel so lucky and so honored to be able to encounter two of them on this trip. And, you know, I would love to say it's a lot of skill, because it is a lot of skill to find them, but it's also a lot of luck. This snake was just crossing the trail, and if we were 1 minute late or early in either direction, we would have completely missed it. So, very fortunate to have encountered this animal.
Alright, so we did an awesome photo session with this snake, and now we are ready to go ahead and release it. So just walk it over here to the bush. And that thing to take off.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something about the Bushmaster. Please leave a comment, let us know what you think, hit share, and if you want to join me on my next Amazon expedition and look for the Bushmaster with me, send me an email.